Do you really need more than one outfit for your wedding day? If you haven't been living under a rock for the past couple of years, you'd know from TikTok and Instagram that having a couple of gowns, dresses, suits, jumpsuits, costumes, or even just a jumbo pair of scissors, shudder, has been trending for a while. But is it just another wild wedding industry or consumer-driven extravagance? Or are there more practical reasons and even history and cultural significance behind the perceived increase in multiple outfit changes on a wedding day? Today you're going to learn why brides, and this is not excluding others who want to get into the second outfit fun, but it's mainly brides who are embracing more than one wedding day look, what kinds of second outfits are popular and available to you, hint, they don't have to break the bank, and how can you time your change perfectly to make the most of photo opportunities and your party time too. Make sure you listen right to the end because bridal boutique owner and stylist Bianca from Sposa Adelaide shares her insider expert advice about different options you might not have considered and how to pull off your wardrobe transitions like a pro. Let's get stuck into it. Unbridely is a community of pro wedding vendors who believe in freedom and integrity in weddings, giving you options, solutions, tips and tricks to create the experience and memories that you and your fiancé really want and deserve. Because we believe that weddings are a team sport. With how-tos, stories and interviews with recently married couples, we find out what went right and what they'd change if they could go back and do it all over again. I'm Camille and welcome to the Unbridely podcast. So why are we doing this? Why are we changing outfits? I will admit, in recent years, I saw this a lot on social media and I was very grumpy about it because my perspective was that it was just another money grab from the fashion industry, that it was something completely over the top for people who have plenty of money, and I just didn't see the point. But I missed several really important reasons why people are looking to have different outfits throughout their wedding day. The tradition of changing outfits during a wedding has evolved over time, but it incorporates both practical and sometimes even cultural reasons. So first of all, there's style and personal expression. Completely get it. Couples can showcase different facets of their personalities throughout the day, different looks. They get to play around. You know, sometimes you love to get dressed up. Other times you're a little bit more understated. You've got the option there to show both sides. The second reason is for comfort, and I can appreciate this. So traditional wedding gowns, they can be heavy, they can be quite restrictive, and it can make it difficult to move freely, especially during the reception. But there are also examples of cultural significance. So in multicultural weddings, for example, couples may choose to honour different traditions at different stages. So for a Vietnamese and Western wedding, you might include a yo yai, I hope I say that okay, the traditional Vietnamese national costume for a tea ceremony, and then change into a white, inverted commas, Western wedding gown for the reception. There's the practicality of it. A second outfit can allow for much easier dancing a lot of the time. Sitting, yeah, that's something else. And shock horror, eating. My friend Bianca, who I have some of her advice towards the end of the episode, but she told me while we were discussing this, a cautionary tale about her niece, no laughing matter really, whose wedding gown was too small. And Bianca says, I want everyone to know she didn't buy it from me. I said, fine, I'll pass it on. But anyway, the niece's wedding gown was too small, so it's very, very tight, like exceptionally tight. And it led to so much discomfort during her reception that come the speeches, she was vomiting. She was that physically uncomfortable. And so they had to find another outfit. And luckily, the niece had a linen dress that she'd worn while getting ready that she could change into so she could be a part of the rest of her wedding reception. And while this is pretty extreme, it does emphasise the importance of comfort and perhaps having a backup plan just in case. And then there's a tradition that I had completely forgotten about, and that is the going away outfit, the honeymoon outfit that became popular from the Victorian era until about the 1970s, where a bride would generally wear a traditional wedding gown and then go away after the dancing. That's the weird thing. She would dance in her wedding dress and do everything else in the wedding dress, in the wedding gown. And then just before the farewell, the exit, if you like, would go and get changed into a going away or honeymoon outfit, and then have the guard of honour and everyone say goodbye, because usually the couple were heading off on their honeymoon immediately after their wedding. Now, of course, this was all happening because they weren't having sex before they got married and they needed to rush off to go and have sex. So, yeah, they were heading off to their honeymoon. So this was why this whole thing came about. But really, when you think about these outfit changes that we're seeing popularised now, it's just a bit of an extension on that, in that rather than doing the whole reception in your wedding gown, you're just getting changed a bit earlier. You're just being comfy a bit earlier. You're being able to dance a bit, run around, have some fun, rather than maybe being restricted. And Bianca from Sposer Adelaide also shared with me her personal experience with multiple wedding outfits, because it was nearly 18 years ago that she got married to her now husband, and she purchased 2 wedding dresses, but not intentionally. So she purchased one in England as a backup because her original wedding dress was stored here in Australia by her best friend, and Bianca was worried that the gown she had here in Australia might not fit her anymore. She might not like it. And that sort of decision highlights the practical aspect of having options on your wedding day. So in Western cultures, the white wedding dress has become a symbol of purity and tradition since Queen Victoria's iconic white satin gown in 1840. But as I mentioned, in other cultures, like in Vietnamese weddings, the national dress, like the Yue Yai, are worn for ceremonies like the tea ceremony for a wedding. And these cultural norms showcase how outfit changes can serve to honour different traditions, different cultures, and personal preferences on your wedding day. So now that we're feeling like, okay, this reason to have maybe a couple of outfits is not entirely selfish, it's not entirely fashion driven, it can be an expression, it can honour, it can be practical. So what are your options? There are so many. I was really surprised when I spoke with Bianca and she went through some of these options and I'm like, oh yeah, what a brilliant idea. The first one being convertible wedding gowns. Convertible dresses or gowns with detachable elements like your sleeves, overskirts, or your trains means that you get 2 outfits in one. You can just, it's day to night Barbie. You can just change it up and maybe literally let your hair down and off you go. There are also separates. And what we mean by that is mix and match elements of clothing like a bodysuit, skirt, trousers, little jackets, little sleeves. You can have varied looks when you mix and match them. Short dresses are definitely having a moment. They are trending for wedding receptions, and it just gives you more freedom of movement, especially for dancing, especially when it starts to get a bit hot. Here in Australia, we have most of our weddings throughout the year in spring and summer, as with most other countries that love to have an outdoor wedding. And this lets you cool down a little bit. We're also seeing the introduction of very themed changes in outfits. So incorporating more bold colours, sequins, feathers, and going for more of a unique evening wear look is absolutely something you could consider. And also budget-friendly alternatives. While you might invest in and drop the money on your beautiful custom wedding gown, you could consider sample gowns off the rack options or discounted dresses for your reception outfit. So these are ones that cost so much less, and yet you could still wear them again if you wanted to in the future. Do you know what one of the biggest regrets of newly married couples is? They'll say, I wish I had more memories from my wedding day. It was my favourite day. And one of the smartest ways I've seen couples do this is by making sure that they arrange a quick, foolproof, and really simple way to collect and share their guests' wedding photos. Because if you think about it, with an average wedding of, say, 100 guests, with every one of them taking 5 photos or videos, I mean, they'll take much more, of course, but I'm talking about the good ones. That's an opportunity for you to collect and download 500 extra photos and videos of their perspective on your wedding day. The stuff that happened that you didn't even get to see. But your barriers are overly complicated instructions or processes. Let's face it, if it takes too long, forces your guest into registering, if you've got to use a certain social media platform, or it's just a pain in the ass, and I'm looking at you, Dropbox and Google Drive, your family and friends just won't do it. And the tech fear and privacy concerns too, because no one wants to download yet another app that has a data breach. Never Miss Moments is an essential resource for busy soon-to-be-weds just like you. Your unlimited photo and video gallery is held in a secure server for 12 months, and for your guests, it's a one-click QR code solution. There's no app to download, no need to register, and it's quick. Win-win. Your guests will be able to look back on and reminisce about your wedding, and your fam and friends' different perspectives of your wedding day is such an incredible lifelong gift for you too. The team at Never Miss Moments are obsessed with giving you the very best customer service, and I'm stoked to be able to pass on their special 10% off discount offer on their galleries when you go to nevermissmoments.com/unbridely. So that's never miss moments, all one word, .com/unbridely, which, in case you don't already know, UNBRIDELY. The discount will show up in your cart automatically. And of course, I'll pop the link in the show notes for you as well. So now you've worked out why you want to do it, what you're going to change into, when should you be planning this? So popular times for changing your outfit include before your reception entrance, because it makes a really dramatic change when you walk in to your reception looking completely different from your ceremony that you just had. Or after the first dance, so you could have photos in your inverted commas ceremony gown, do the first dance, head on out, change, and get on the floor by the time the dance tracks are dropping, right? It doesn't disrupt the flow or the order of events during the night. You could change after dinner. So as the reception transitions into dancing, you could duck away, get changed, come back, first dance, new outfit. Or during cocktail hour. So that natural break between your ceremony and your reception is a good opportunity as well. But what you really want to consider most is what is important to you when it comes especially to photos. So consider your photo preferences when you're deciding when. Because I'll ask you straight out, do you want to be wearing your ceremony outfit, dress, gown, whatever it is, while you're cutting the cake, while you're pouring the champagne tower, during the speeches, do you want to be wearing it then? Or in your first dance photos, do you still want to be wearing it then? When are you happy in your own mind for those photos to be of the second outfit? Generally, not as formal outfit, generally one that you can move in at least. Is it important to you to do your first dance in your ceremony gown, in your wedding gown, or are you happy to have it in your less formal outfit? Have a think about what photos are absolute non-negotiables for you and when you can make that change. And then how in the hell do you go about it? Number one, I say it all the time. Say it with me. Plan ahead. Communicate with your wedding planner if you've got one. If you've got a full service wedding planner that's there, they need to know this stuff. They need to know that you're going to be out of action, if you like, 15, 20 minutes to be able to do this. Your photographer and or videographer or content creator, they need to know as well. They need to be worded up. And this is not just on the day, oh, by the way, I'm changing outfits. They need to know well ahead of time. This is when you're creating the timeline. They need to know about that. When you're thinking about where you're going to get changed, obviously that second outfit is going to be in that private changing area, but you also need that private changing area that no one else is going to walk into as close as possible to generally your reception to minimize the amount of time you are spending away from everyone, away from your wedding. Like the outfit change might be important to you, but time with the people that you've invited to your wedding celebration, I've got to imagine that's more important. Number 3, get a support system around you. Get some support around you. Ask, delegate, get some reliable and discreet help. It's important from a bridesmaid, friend, family member, or maybe even again, your full service wedding planner might be able to help assist and facilitate and make this change as smooth and as quick as possible. You don't want to feel rushed during this time. You want to be having fun with it, right? You don't want to be in there all sweaty. You know when you're trying to get changed and you're in a rush and someone's waiting for you and it's just, you feel resentful. You don't want that. Smooth change, as quick as possible, as seamless as possible, no pun intended. Number 4, have a think about it in advance and accessorize wisely. This sounds weird, but if you think about it, choose some versatile accessories that complement both of your outfits to save you money to start with and to save you time in that changing space. So think earrings that can be worn with both outfits, shoes, if possible, that can be worn with both outfits, accessories, hairstyles in particular. If you can keep the same hairstyle or make the slightest change and have a change in look, have a chat with your hairdresser, hairstylist before your wedding day and go, look, I've got 2 outfits. I'd like to change the look a bit with my hair. What is the tiniest change I can make without perhaps letting down a full up hairstyle into an all down hairstyle, which, can sometimes make us look like we've been pulled through a hedge backwards, right? So get the professionals to give you ideas. It might just be a little hair clip. Get their input, get it well ahead of time. Number 5 is the timing, which we've talked about basically when, but you're also wanting to schedule this change during a natural break in the festivities. So again, you don't miss too much. And number 6, as I was thinking through, okay, I'm in a private space. I've got someone there to help me. I've got the second outfit. What if something goes wrong? Which is, where my brain goes. That's just how I think. What you want to do, my friend, is as well as having a water there with you, maybe something to be able to remove stains. So it made me think you need that emergency kit with you. I'll put the link in the show notes for the emergency kit episode, but what's inside it is the sewing kit, safety pins, double-sided fashion tape. All of these could easily be needed in a change of outfits. And also, take your original outfit off, your dress, your gown, whatever it is, and put your new outfit on with a silk scarf over your face, just lightly over your face. So then as you're maybe brushing clothes up and over your face and down over your face, depending on what sort of outfits you've got, of course, it's going to minimize any makeup transfer onto either outfit. You just don't want to be going out there with this lovely new outfit and your entire face of makeup is across the neckline. You'd be devastated. And as promised, I had a chat with my colleague and friend Bianca from Sposa Adelaide. So that's a beautiful bridal boutique here in Adelaide on Unley Road. She's also a very experienced bridal stylist. And she's got some expert insight on outfit changes on your wedding day. She has a very unique perspective. So first of all, she wanted me to tell you that having 2 outfits for your wedding isn't necessarily extravagant. So I've been well and truly told off about that. It can be about comfort and it can be about enjoying the most of your special day. If you consider, and I spoke about this earlier, your custom gown that you might be spending a fair bit of money on for the ceremony and a more affordable option for the reception, it can even out those costs for you. Have a think about removable skirts or trains that can offer the versatility without the full outfit change. I also wanted to find out her opinion on the trends that you might have seen, like chopping off your dress at the bottom. You know, before you go into the reception, a bridesmaid or a friend, family member grabs a big pair of scissors and chop, 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 does the hem of your dress. Bianca said, if it's not done by a professional, and it's unlikely to be, it's not going to be hemmed, it's going to be uneven, and it will fray and perhaps rip. It's likely to lead to permanent damage of the structure of the gown. And she admitted that when she saw this trend a while ago, that it traumatized her. But she wanted me to pass on to you that she just doesn't think it's a great idea because, of course, after your wedding, that dress is pretty much ruined. It can't be used again. It's a bit of a throwaway culture impulse decision. Totally up to you, of course, but she believes there's more of a downside than an upside to it. And so Bianca's advice was, if you're wanting a shorter dress for your reception, have professionals create a separate outfit for you based on your main dress rather than altering your main gown right there on the spot. Remember, your wedding day is about your personal preference and comfort. Whether you choose one outfit or multiple looks, make sure it aligns with your vision and allows you to fully enjoy your celebration from go to woe. So tell me what you did or what you're planning on doing. Did you hack your gown to pieces during your reception? Did you get changed into a Las Vegas Elvis-style rhinestone-encrusted jumpsuit? Tell me all about your fashion faux pas and victories. I'm always on Instagram. DM me at Unbridely. Chat with you next week. That about wraps it up for this episode of the Unbridely podcast. For the links and resources we mentioned, please head to the show notes. And if you love the show, please review and subscribe on the podcast platform you're on now so you don't miss out on a single episode. Thanks so much for listening. And remember, weddings are a team sport. Catch you soon.